Hello, Kendall from Reddit Whiskey, recapping the first of my two war attacks from this war. This was, I guess, a southern teaser-like base where you got a big spread of defenses at the bottom here, but a compact area up the top. And I did a swarm HoLo attack in order to deal with this base. And the reason I chose that was when you're looking for double giant bomb locations, you can see there's really no double giant bomb locations anywhere at the top. So my options were kind of here, and the most logical of the two places, because there's a lot of places for double giant bombs, but the most logical is right here, and that's because these are protected by two different defenses. I mean, you're looking at this base, though, and there's, potentially double giant bombs here, potentially here. You could have had him here, you could have had him here, you could have had him here, you could have had him here. There's lots of different I think here. No, maybe not here, but either way, there's lots of different locations. I don't think this is one, but lots of different locations you could have had a 2 by a 4 space. But the reason I say the ones in red are the only logical is because they're the only ones that your hogs, when they're pathing through here, have a chance to go over both of them at the same time. And I would argue that the only way that would occur is, you really would have had to seen, kind of going from this cannon. If this cannon was dead and this mortar was dead, and your hogs had kind of gone in this way, then yes, they would have pathed over both to get here. But as long as you're going through the side, you're really only going to hit one of these at a time. So I'd argue these are, even if there were double giant bombs there, they would have been weak locations. But neither here nor there. The plan was, kind of looking at this, I was going to get rid of this entire bottom ring of defenses to take these double giant bombs out of play. So I was going to drop 3 balloons in here, 3 balloons in here, followed by 2 balloons here. And I was going to try to thread the needle and drop, 2 balloons here and 2 balloons here. These are these cannons are a bit recessed, so I'm not sure if I could have anyway, but I missed. I didn't get those placed well. But overall, I had plenty of balloons, took out this entire row of defenses, and on top of that, was able to get the clan castle pull. So, because you can kind of see from here, these balloons are definitely at the clan castle pull. So once I had those defenses all taken out, and the reason I used so many balloons down here, which is a bit of overkill, was I did have these archer towers shooting at that. I didn't know if there was going to be air mines down here or if Teslas might have popped, and I just wanted to get these taken care of. So I expended a lot of troops to get that row taken care of. But from there, my plan was I was going to drag the CC troops over to here. I used an archer here to anchor point on this elixir pump. Once the CC troops got, kind of these army camps, I dropped 2 barbarians, followed by my staggered witches, archer queen, and then my 2 wizards. I waited until the clan castle was kind of all the way over there, and the wizard kind of got out here, and I dropped 1 more barbarian to kind of protect. Once they were kind of under control, though, I sent my golem in here. I dropped a a wizard here to kind of break the trash ring, put my barbarian king down, and I brought a bunch of wall breakers because ideally I wanted to get in to this compartment for the golem, and in case this archer queen got behind the wall, I was hoping to break through this wall and then also to this wall, because ideally I wanted my kill squad to come through here, because I was going to use hogs to take out the upper half. Now, I think a mortar hit, and I didn't end up getting up here, but luckily the archer queen had jumped over where she was, so it worked out well. Kind of everything went through here. My plan then for the hogs was I was going to send them all in right here, and the reason was is they would path to here, kind of break down to here. I thought a few would kind of go up to the top. Maybe one did, but not a whole lot. But then ideally they were going to kind of come down through here and path up back around. My heal spells was going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that was how I kind of had it planned out. Well, once you'll see when we get to the replay, none of the bombs were where I expected they were. There was actually no double giant bomb sets. They were all singles. So what ended up happening is I think we had a bomb that popped here. I ended up having to use a heal early, and I placed it really poorly. And then I was a bit rushed here, and I placed this heal up here also poorly. And what ended up happening was I didn't get this archer tower taken out. All of my hogs died, and this went down to the very last second. In hindsight, if this had been a cleanup, let's say I didn't get the 3-star on it, my heroes kind of pulled out here. I mean, my Archer Queen did what she normally does. She shot at walls for most of the raid, but she finally ended up, pulling it out at the very end of end of the raid. And I mean, this went down to the very last half a second. But I think if I'd have known there was only single giant bombs, I would have, instead of dropping my hogs where I would have kind of done an Asian wall of hogs, just kind of dropped them all around the top here and let them path through. And then I could have dropped a heal here, and then saved my last two for where I needed them. But, cleanups are always easier than first attacks. But luckily my heroes kind of pulled it out for me. So we'll watch the replay and I'll kind of point out as kind of things went. So you'll see at the very beginning, I do my 3, my 3, my 2. Tried to thread the needle in. Obviously I missed, but once those cannons went down, everything redirects. Once cannons are down and it looks like I've got a full clan castle pull, because I've got a couple, and this is something too, it's hard sometimes to tell if you've got a full clan castle pull, but what I saw here was there was at least 5 or 6 archers, there was at least 2 wizards, and 1 witch. So I know out of 25, just because I know when I fill my war CC with, that's going to be a full clan castle pull. So, kind of seeing what was out there, I had a general idea. I had all the troops out. So from there, I dropped the archer. I'm going to use my anchor point. And this is kind of another point too. I notice some people, like when they're doing their anchor point, they go ahead and drop the archer right here, right next to this elixir pump. I would recommend instead dropping it all the way back in the corner so the archer has to walk to here. And the reason being is, your goal with the clan castles is you want to try to pull these troops out this direction. And you don't want your archer killing this elixir pump before these troops get all the way out here, because then you don't really have anything to protect or to hold your troops back from this archer tower. So, when you're dropping your kill squad, there's no need to drop it as close as possible in these defense or on these buildings. Drop it all the way back in the corner. So, archer goes out. I kind of wait for everything to kind of get pulled out to about right here. Once they get to the army camps, I drop my 2 barbarians, followed by my first witch. Wait for the green circle, drop the second one, then my archer queen, followed by my 2 wizards. You're going to see I'm not worried about single archers taking out my skellies. They just don't shoot fast enough. But what I am worried about is this wizard once it gets down here, because it does splash damage. So then you'll see I drop my single barbarian once that wizard's out. Then everything's kind of under control. I drop my golem. I went ahead and dropped my barbarian king because that witch was kind of hidden. Drop my wizard here to break the trash ring. And then you'll see barbarian, or wall breakers. Drop more wall breakers to get in, but I think the mortar splash hits it. Ended up having a couple extra barbarians, so I miscounted here. I thought I had everything, but there ended up being some ground troops. So, even I screw up often on things like that. But so ended up being a couple more barbarians. But my kill squad's coming in where I wanted. I dropped all my hogs. They kind of work. Obviously, I get my first bomb here, which was not where I expected, but hogs should be fine. Get my first heal exactly where I want it. Most of the hogs all kind of path down here, only get 1 that goes up. Drop my second heal exactly where I wanted it. Get a bomb up here, which I wasn't expecting, but I'm still okay. And then, this ended up getting a bomb that popped right here, and this kind of really screwed me up. I was not expecting this at all, and you can see my hogs are at low health, so I ended up having to drop a heal, and that probably wasn't a bad place. Because the hogs were low level, but here's where I really kind of screw up. My Golemite is tanking this X-Bow and this Tesla right now, so the only thing that's really hitting is this mortar and this wizard tower, so I probably could have waited just a little bit longer, but that heal right there was a horrible placement. If I would have dropped that heal instead, here, I might have had some Aug survive, and this wouldn't have gone as close as it did. It might still have, because I ended up hitting a spring trap up here, but, it ended up working out. But you can see my Archer Queen starts shooting at this wall right here, then decides to shoot at this wall over here. She does that so well. Once she decides to kill that lava wall because she really dislikes it, you can see my last hog goes down. And you can see I've got 2 cleanup wizards. I actually had three. I dropped my first one over here because it was fully protected. You're going to see I dropped my next one over here because I realized this is going to go down to the wire because my archer queen's being stupid like normal. So I dropped my second one over here, but I've got to wait on my third one because I can't let it kill too many of these buildings and get in range of this archer tower. So you can see I've got my one wizard over here. I dropped my second one over here. Finally, my archer queen starts shooting at this wall over here. That's her third wall now. But I know this wizard's gonna be protected for a while. Once this archer queen though gets through this wall, I know I'm safe to kind of drop my wizard up here because it's gonna take it a little while to get to these true, and I think my archer queen's gonna be up there in town. Go ahead and use her ability to kind of help me take it out. I use my barbarian king ability here once they're getting up to these buildings. Even here, my archer queen could have walked up and shot this. Well, maybe not. Might have been out of range, but still, she shot at more walls because she's good at that. And she does come through at the end. I think she gets the very last shot. And I mean, this thing really did run down to the very last split second. But, that was the attack. I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you've got any questions or comments or anything you'd like to see me add to these videos. So thank you for watching.